Looks like it's
Yeah, they can hear us. They can hear us.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am ThatsFairZack, and I am going to be running Ancient Cave in a Marathon. And I've got my commentator here.
I'm Mitchy. And I'm gonna do commentary. Didn't see that one coming.
Alright. So I haven't done a marathon run in a while, so hopefully it goes all well. We will utilize our time as best as we can. We're gonna start the run in like 5 seconds. You ready, man?
I'm ready.
Alright.
I'm super ready.
Alright, there's gonna be a lot of information right at the beginning. There's a lot that we have to explain preemptively before I even get it. There's a lot that we have to talk about. This is a very randomized run. And there's absolutely no safety saves, so just bear with us as we get through this for the next 2 hours. You ready, man?
Yep.
Alright, in 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, so I'm gonna do commentary with a little bit of delay. Oh, it's only like 3 seconds, it's really short.
Okay.
At the start, he's gonna pick his character, his characters, excuse me. You always start with Maxim, but he picks Decker, Guy, and Artie. Decker mostly because he's like the big tank, the really strong physical damage dude. He has the most health, and he has a unique weapon, which we will hopefully see later in the run, which I will explain then. He picks Guy, which is basically like a slightly weaker version of Decker, but still pretty good. And he picks Artie, and he picks Artie mostly for the because he's so fast. And later on, he's gonna get weapons that can instantly kill an enemy. So it's really useful to equip that on Artie, because Artie will outspeed a lot of enemies. And it just makes it a lot easier and a lot faster to actually kill everything. So yeah, there are 99 floors. At the 99th floor, there's the final boss. You start at floor number 1, and he will just slowly go through the cave, picking up the chest, killing some monsters, finding the stairs, you know, all that stuff. Yeah, this is any percent nominate.
That's a really good find early.
Valor, that is great. So Valor is a healing spell that can also revive, and it can be used offensively against undead enemies. So that is an amazing pickup. Usually in like
my god.
In an
my
actual any
follower
percent
alerts are going off, even though I turned them all off. I have no idea what's going on.
Okay, please do not follow Zach.
I turned them all off on Streamlabs and everything. I don't know what's going on. It's a lie.
It happens. It happens. But yeah, finding healing is crucial in this game. In this game mode, it's very important because you know you start out at level 1. Every monster that you kill gives you levels at the start, and then you know you need to heal all that up. You start out completely naked, as you can see now, with nothing but 10 potions. So you really want to find that healing. These blue chests, that is really early that we found one. These blue chests are quite rare. And the black eye is pretty good. It has an ability on it that you can use. That what does it do? Oh, another one, nice. That deals a lot of damage to enemies. I believe it's dark and fire.
I'm so sorry about the follower alerts. I went in Streamlabs and turned them all off. I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know why. I apologize. I have no idea. I know it's not that loud, but it's something. It's aggravating me.
Well, I can hear it, so that's good.
Yeah, I know.
But it also gives agility. So any kind of agility item is really really good to get, especially for the late game. He also found Champion, which is another healing spell, which doesn't revive, but it's a lot cheaper, and it also heals a lot, which you can also use offensively against undead enemies. So. Floor 4, in like an any percent like a PB run. This is where you would start picking up items, because here you can find the deadly sword, and on floor 5 you can find the deadly rod. They are good because they can instantly kill an enemy.
Oh wait, they don't hear the alerts?
Oh, you don't hear the alerts? Okay, that's good.
If they don't hear it, I don't care, but I thought maybe it's on my end. Maybe I have something up where I can hear it. It's probably because it's my OBS. My OBS is probably going through, but I don't know. I don't know. As long as it's not going through. Okay, it was bothering me.
Okay, that's good. But yeah, this is, funnily enough, this isn't the main game. This is only an optional dungeon, or when you finish the game twice, you finish the game normally once, and then a retry, which is like New Game Plus once. Then you unlock this game mode, and that's the game mode we're playing on right now. Katie's Blade. Well, the Katie's Blade is a really good weapon. We'll talk about it in a moment.
Alright, so they hear the alerts, they just don't see it. I knew they couldn't see it, but I don't know why they can hear it. I turned it down. I might try and sneak open Streamlabs and mute it if it gets set up.
Well, don't worry too much about it. Like, do it mid-battle, I guess.
Yeah, I will.
So yeah, this is an optional game mode that is also available in the main story, and yeah, every time you enter the cave, all the floor layouts are randomized. You have an idea of which enemies you're gonna encounter, because enemies will always show up between floor X and floor Y, and never outside those.
Nothing else, okay.
But whether you actually do see them, or the floor layouts and which chests and stuff you get, you don't know anything about that. So up to now, Zack has had an absolute god tier of a run. So that only means that in the late game he's gonna have some trouble, because that's the cave, right? That's the cruel mistress that likes to bully us a lot. So yeah, the Gatie's Blade. The Gatie's Blade has an ability that allows you to attack 8 times in a single turn. So in battle, you see the HP bar, the MP bar, and then the IP bar. The IP bar is it's a little bit like a limit break from Final Fantasy VII, I guess Final Fantasy VII is the best one to explain it with. Where if you take damage, it charges up, and then most weapons and armors and rings, etc., have an ability on them. Most of them aren't really useful in the speedrun, where it gives you like extra defense or extra speed and that kind of stuff. But some of them are really good because they deal a lot of damage against enemies. So on floor 99, there's the final boss, which is the Master Jelly. He has 9,980 health, so that's a lot of health. And you need specific weapons to actually be able to beat him. Yeah, it's gonna be a toss-up whether Zack will actually be able to kill the boss, but he will at least try to show the boss off. Yes, this game totally stole from Final Fantasy VII. Yes, there's only a couple of years between them. This game is definitely not older or anything, but yes, this game stole from Final Fantasy VII.
There's actually a weapon called the Buster Sword.
Yeah. See, that's number 2 already. There are no materia in this game though.
All right, but, I know I'm talking about it again, but I did manage to mute the sound, so it shouldn't play any more alert sounds. I don't know why they're going off.
That's good. Yeah, there are multiple categories for the Ancient Cave. Another category, for example, is Reject Percent. Reject Percent is the category where you pick the 3 other characters. So you leave Decker, Guy, and Ari at home. You would take Tia, Selen, and Lexis. And that category isn't fun. No matter what other people say, it's not fun. Most of these runs will just die somewhere halfway because either you don't get healing or you just run into an enemy that you have to defeat that is way too strong. Just one-shoot you. There's nothing you can do about it. So if you thought this category wasn't RNG heavy enough, then yeah, run any of the other categories basically. But yeah, it's also just a really fun category, or a really fun game, I should say. Even if you aren't into speedrunning, and it's just really fun for like a challenge run, where, for example, you kill every monster in the cave, or you take specific characters, or you only take 3 characters, for example. So it's definitely a really fun game to check out. Yeah, except for that amazing start with the Gades blade, which is one of the rarest. And, well, it's not one of the rarest items per se, but really rare item.
It's the most sought after item.
Yeah, it's the second most sought after item for sure. And the healing, yeah, not much has been going on in the run so far. But it's a good start. It's a really good start. Zack is taking it safe, which I really like to see, honestly.
Yeah, the earlier floors, like 1 through 20, are pretty safe. Not really a whole lot happens, and if you do regular speed runs, they're not really dangerous floors at all. Chances are you're always going to make it to at least 20. Things don't really start getting wild until the 20s, and then the 30s and 40s, and then there's like a period between 55 and 60 something that's not that dangerous either. But so the beginning of the run's kind of slow, but it picks up when things get very dangerous, depending on what you have.
Yeah, I see a question in chat that I actually forgot to mention. All the monsters, they have their own movement patterns. They only move when you move. Whether that's taking a step, or bonking into the wall, or swinging your sword. Nice deadly sword there. Some monsters will try to walk towards you, others just follow the wall, like this imp here. Other monsters walk away from you, others take 1 step every 3rd step you take, etc, etc. So between runs, it's always the same which pattern they have. But again, you don't know which enemies you're gonna encounter at what point. So if you, for example, we haven't seen those yet, but encounter an enemy that is basically the size of 2 sprites horizontally, and he's in the hallway, then you're gonna have a really, really big problem actually trying to get around it, for example.
Did you mention cores at all? I'm sorry, I mean to interrupt.
Yeah, well, we've now reached floor 11, and floor 11 through 13 are really important for us, because these cubes that you see there in the corner, that's a core, and a core is really good, because they like to run away, but when they don't run away and you kill them, you get a huge amount of experience. It's basically similar to the experience of 10 normal enemies around these floors. So we really want 1 or 2 of those. And it's just a massive boost. Because Zack is already a little bit higher than he would usually be in the normal run. He only got like 2 levels from it.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Where usually, like from level 1, it would instantly bring you to level 9. And that is... So you get like 40-50 seconds of just... you know, the level ups rolling.
Cores,
it always amuses me, honestly.
Cores are very important to the speedrun overall. It kind of not only gives you the survivability, it's the time saver. It's really the first instance of like how you save a lot of time in the run. The levels are super important. The levels are important honestly for 2 really good reasons. I mean, it does raise your strength and everything, like those kind of stats, but what you're really, really wanting to do is you want to get Artie's agility up. Agility is like the single most important stat in the game, for multiple reasons. It helps you run away from things you don't want to stay in battle with, and it gives Artie the chance to first hit. If he's faster than the enemies. Being able to attack first with Artie is super important, and very, very important. The other thing that levels do is they bring your HP up to values that help you survive, and that's pretty much the main reason why you need them. A good average level to aim for when you're doing Ancient Cave runs is probably around 25. 28's probably better if you can get that high. A lot of times you need levels so that you have the HP to survive attacks so you can farm IP. Did you go through IP yet?
Yeah,
Okay.
IP. Yeah, a short summary. IP is like the limit break in Final Fantasy VII, where you can use a special attack from a weapon, armor, ring, etc. And they can be useful throughout the run. Like dealing more damage is always good, but also when you don't get healing, that you can use a specific armor that heals you, etc. But for the final boss, it's really important because without the IP bar, we can not kill the boss at all. We just can't. So it's really really important.
Yeah, IP is super important. It stands for Ikari points, which I'm sure you already mentioned. What's that?
No, Ikari points.
Ikari points. And like he said, when you take damage, it builds up the bar. Also, for characters like Guy and Decker, where it seems like it takes a while to build up their IP, sometimes their HP is so high that you can actually get hit with less HP. The less HP that you have when you're getting hit, you actually build up more IP. So like if Decker's half health and he still has like 280 HP, you can afford to take more hits to build up your bar a little bit faster. Simple things like that, those kind of strategies can save you lots of time. They're very important for the overall like any percent run or even 100%.
Yeah, it can literally save you minutes, honestly. Because usually near the end we'll fight dragons, and it's kind of random whether these dragons do what you want them to do. Like for example, they have an attack that attacks your entire team, which is really fast to build up the Ikari points, of course. But he also likes to just attack a random person on your character, on your team, or an or like cast defense spell or something like that, right? So it's actually really important to manage your IP well.
You know what?
15 Decker Blades.
You know what? You guys, like, the fact that this is a marathon run, I'm sacrificing some really big things going on today.
This is potential. That's all I'm saying. This is potential. Yeah, this is like the 1 in 100 start that you can get, and then it gets.
Yeah, I got the Decker Blade on floor.
Somewhere along the way.
There's a lot of randomness to the Ancient Cave, but there's actually some very consistent flags. The Decker Blade can only spawn starting at floor 15, which I happen to get on floor 15. So it's already kind of crazy enough that I got it the earliest possible that you could. There's a whole bunch of items like that that only spawn on certain floors. Floor 50 is a big threshold for some items. Floor 60 is another threshold. Did you already talk about like fractional HP attacks and whatnot?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Fraction. Shall I do it, or do you want to do it?
Well, I guess I'll just talk about the Decker Blade. So the reason why we bring Decker is not because he's a big surviving tank. He comes with the most important weapon that you can get in the Ancient Cave. It's the Decker Blade. The Decker Blade is not really that high of an attacking power weapon. Oh my god, dude. Why did I do this? Why not just go live? But it's a very important weapon, and the reason is not because of its strength, but because of its IP attack. Its IP attack, which uses the Ikari points we talked about earlier, it does 1/2 of any enemy's HP in the entire cave. It also does the jelly. It doesn't, it's not immune to it. So you can actually hit that 10,000 HP jelly for an average of 5k. That's the biggest one. It's the only one that does 1/2. But there are other weapons, and some of them are actually tied into those deadly weapons you see me going crazy for. I'm sure Mitchie can explain those, though.
Yeah, so yeah, basically we're looking for, at this point we're looking for a Curse Lifter, because the deadly weapons, like Zack mentioned, have the also fractional abilities on them, but you only unlock them after using a Curse Lifter on them, because they're cursed, so you can't take them off. At this point, that is literally the only thing we're looking for, and maybe like a stronger weapon for Max, and that's it. Then we already have a kill on the jelly, really. So if you look at the jelly and you have 10k health, you're probably like 9k damage at this point. If provided you get the levels that you're gonna get.
Oh yeah. But
it's
there's one important thing. I've gotten a lot of good stuff now, okay? We understand that. There's one important fact that I left out of this entire marathon. It's the first thing I should have said before I even started. There is a philosophy with the Ancient Cave, and I'm going to tell you right now, and hopefully you can kind of understand what I'm saying. The cave knows that you know that the cave knows that you know. In other words, the cave is aware that you're aware of it being aware of you, and it can just play some really, really bad tricks on you. Anyone will tell you, anyone that's ever done Ancient Cave runs will tell you that the cave is sentient, and it knows exactly what you're saying and what you're doing, and it will throw the worst at you. I mean, there are things that I've seen that no one should have ever seen. It's pretty scary.
Yeah, this run so far, this is like the dream. Like I haven't had a start to a run like this in years, literally.
Oh, no.
I was so jealous right now.
Well, I mean, I have a lot of good stuff that's helping me get there. The only thing I am lacking in is I'm lacking in any kind of attacking spell, which isn't the worst thing, but I would like to have some. I have no attacking spells, I think, period. And one spell that I would really like to see is Zap. Zap allows you to make more decisions with Artie, because your deadly weapons, even though they instantly kill and you use them while you're descending into the cave, they're actually kind of useless on the jelly without a curse lifter. So if they're stuck on your characters and you don't have any curse lifters, you need other options, and the other option would be high attacking spells, or maybe a jewel that has a better IP attack on it that you can use with Artie or Maxim, whoever has the deadly. Those are other options that you can use. So Zap is actually the highest attacking spell in the game, and only Artie can use it. And it hits around 430 damage on average, I think. So it's a pretty good spell.
Now, usually around 400 and any percent run.
Yeah. There are other things that you can do. I didn't get any of them, but they do have elemental rings that also raise the damage on your elemental attacks. I didn't get any, but they do exist. So there are other options besides Zap, if you can find them. But all the rings... The game is bugged, by the way. The entire game is bugged.
Yep.
You won't see me pick up any helmets, any shields, any jewels, or any rings from chest after floor 9. They just don't appear.
Yeah, you can. The game is so bugged that you can, like, after booting up the game, you can basically soft lock or hard lock, I guess, the entire game in like 4 or 5 presses. Like, literally, like you go into the options menu, you mess around in the options menu a bit, and you just crash the game. Which also means that some smarter people than me found a way that you can finish the game in like 30 seconds, provided you do the inputs correctly.
Oh yeah.
So it's amazing, honestly. This game is incredibly broken, but it's still stable enough, right?
Yeah. You can't even change the sound. If you change the sound, the whole game just...
yeah.
It's bad.
So, for example, one of the issues that this game has that is actually like important to us, because we're not gonna mess around in a options menu. But one of the problems that we can run into, which I really hope we don't, but we can, is that the floor doesn't properly load, and you get a floor that doesn't have a staircase. So, for example, like you spawn in a room that is like 2x3, the size of 2x3, and there's just nothing but a wall around you, no staircase, no monsters, nothing. Or that only half of the floor loads, that you literally have 2 rooms in the hallway and just a broken wall. like that kind of stuff. And it happens like once every, like I want to say like once every 100 hours of running this cave. So say like once every 150 runs or something. But for me personally, like I've been running it a couple of years, and I think I've soft logged like 10, 11, 12 times by now. Like it doesn't happen often, but some people are luckier than others, I guess. And yeah, I'm totally one of these unlucky ones. So it shouldn't happen, and it's not gonna happen,
but it could happen.
There's nothing that you could do if it does happen. We at floor 20 you get an item which is called Providence, which allows you to teleport out of the cave. But you go back to level 1, and you can only take out the blue chest items that you found in the cave. There's Providence. So we really don't wanna run into that problem, especially not now that we have all this healing and the Decker Blade and you name it, the deadlies.
This run can end with more than just a soft log.
Yeah, the run can also randomly end if we get a really bad room, and he has to fight his way through it, and we just run out of resources. Or, for example, that you spawn into a floor, and you instantly get back attacked. So I did explain that actually. If you run into the side of an enemy, there's a 50% chance. Nice pickup. There's a 50% chance that you get a preemptive, which is basically one free round. But if they do that to you, they have a 50%. Oh, this is a bad one. That's
very bad.
That is. Ooh. I'm sorry I jinxed you there. Your levels are okay, I guess. Yeah, you should live, but anyway. What was the saying?
Talking about engaging enemies at certain positions.
Right, yes. If you attack them from the back, you get a 100% chance at a preemptive, unless the enemy doesn't actually have a front or a back. But for example, these lions, they do have a side and a front and a back, as you can tell. These lions are somewhat easy to manipulate. It's random whether they move, but they will always move towards you. So yeah, not so much in this room, but in most rooms you can, for example, just swing your sword and make him walk in front of you, so you have a 50% chance to back attack him, or like juke him around the chest. And there are a lot of different ways you can approach certain situations. One thing Zack really doesn't want to do is run into one of these squids, because these squids attack every single party member in your team, and these samurai are also kind of annoying. They basically have a 50% chance to walk towards you and a 50% chance to do whatever the F they want. And they never do what I want them to do. It's like they know where the door is that you want to go towards, or the staircase you want to go towards. So saying that they should walk towards you, yeah, they really just do what they want. And they are undead, so you can't kill them with your deadly either if you have that equipped. So I really dislike those samurai. Yes, champion is a healing spell. It's if you will, the strongest healing spell that doesn't revive. There's also Valor. That one heals for a fixed amount, which is higher than champion, but it's also much more expensive, and it can revive, or it does revive, and it can revive if you AoE it. Area of effect, so if you heal multiple people. Stronger is abysmal. We don't talk about stronger. But yeah, getting a good offensive spell, like Zap that Zack mentioned earlier. The strongest light or holy spell, whatever you wish to call it. Or Thunder, for example, the second strongest spell and the strongest Thunder spell. Bolt is okay, I guess. Firebird will be good, the strongest fire spell, especially Firebird and Zap, because there are a lot of enemies are weak to fire and holy. There are a lot of undead enemies in the game that are weak to fire and holy. So I always like to pick a Firebird.
All right, sorry, I was being quiet there because it was very dangerous. Yeah, so basically the marathon run has a lot of different strategies that we use. What you saw me do is very unconventional, killing lines to build up my level so that I could survive anything that went wrong in that room. And I cleared a few of the samurais so they'd also get out of my way. Because I didn't want to like have to dodge them and then run into a octopus or anything like that and get killed. I didn't want to do any of that. I'm trying to survive the best possible way that I can. Just for the record, like, why we have the 2-hour time... Oh, this is bad. This is an ammonite. Why we have the 2-hour time limit... Hold on. Let me just get past this guy. Oh, God.
I don't think he wants to.
I don't want to get killed by these ammonites.
Yeah, I know. Ooh,
okay, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. So, for the record, like, the marathon run is 2 hours long. My and we've been grabbing chests, and we've been trying to dodge as many enemies as possible, so as you can tell, there's a lot of randomization to it. My PB is 19 minutes from now, beating the entire thing. We're only at, what, floor 27 or something? So as you imagine, 70 more floors in 19 minutes. Like, you can imagine how fast we go. There is a big difference in the any percent, but do not let that discourage you from wanting to run this. That is the time that took 6 years to get. Your first few runs that you do will be somewhere probably in the 2+ hour range. I would aim for, oh my god. I would aim for somewhere in the sub 2 hours and then sub 145, 130. All those increments would be great. But we have a problem. That is a nasty room, and I'm hoping I do not have to go in there.
Yeah, these blue chests that we saw in that room, they are not blue chests. They are mimics. Mimics can also spawn in front of a door or on top of a staircase, and the problem why they're so incredibly dangerous is because they don't move. So there's no way to manipulate them. They don't have a front or a back, so you can back attack them. And they are extremely, for our levels, compared to all these other enemies here, they're extremely strong. They can attack your entire party. And they have a lot of health, and they're really fast. So they're just extremely buffed up enemies, and with no way to dodge them if you're unfortunate enough to have them spawn in your way. It is like the first really big run killer in the run. Like even if you would kill every enemy up to this point, grab every chest, there's still a chance that you would die to them. Like, that is how extremely dangerous they are. So we have one more floor that they can spawn at. This is the last floor. So let's hope we get lucky.
Yes, I've to kind of talk about that a little bit more. I've had 100% runs where you kill everything and you open up everything, and I've still had trouble with blue mimics. They can kill you if they want to. They can just kill you. There's nothing you can do about it.
Which is another reason why we have the 2-hour estimate. Yeah, if Zack would die now or within like 5 minutes from now or something, 10 minutes from now, he could still do another attempt at the run and still make it below the 2 hours run. So, for example, I've been running less than Zack. I started a couple of years later, and I haven't done as many attempts on the any percent run. But my personal best is 1 hour and 6 minutes. So most of my runs nowadays, like I'm happy when a run finishes within 1 hour and 20 minutes. So even comparing me with Zack, where I'm the, a more junior runner, if you will. Even for my runs, there's still like a 15, 20, 25 minute difference between run A and run B. Just how the RNG, like what the cave throws at you in terms of RNG. Like, do you get the proper weapons and items that you want, or do you not get anything until floor 80, or do you get a couple of these really bad rooms that you need to fight through? Because if you get a really bad room and you need to get through it, and everything just throws itself at you, and you need to kill everything, and you get through it, it can take up like 8, 9, 10 minutes if you get a really bad room. And I'm not, you know, I'm serious there. So, yeah, it just, you know, what does the cave throw at you? But that is for me personally, speaking for myself, that is what I find the most enjoyable about this run. You know, I don't per se run to get world record. I just like to see what the cave would throw at me today. You know. So, for example, getting a start like this, and then by the time we reach floor 70 plus, where the really terrifying enemies start appearing, and then just getting completely wrecked. You know, being 10 minutes ahead of your PB and then losing 30 minutes on the last 30 floors. That happens a lot.
It happens way too much.
Yeah. And as weird as that sound, I kind of enjoy that. I guess I just like pain and torture from my video games. But yeah, more cores. These blue cores give more experience than the red cores, obviously, because you spawn them later. And more cores is always good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He has like 2 deadly swords and 1 deadly rod, I think.
I might have the bad deadly sword, but I have the good one, but I also might have the bad one.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, there's a good deadly sword and a bad deadly sword, and they're both called the same. But you can check like the description of the item, and then it will tell you whether it's the good or the bad one. So the bad deadly sword is also cursed, but it doesn't have the 80% chance to instantly kill an enemy. But they only start appearing from floor 21 and onwards, or 20 and onwards. So we know that Zack got one early at floor 10 or something. So we know he has a real deadly sword. And deadly rods are always real.
Yeah, there's no bad version of the deadly rod. Only the deadly sword. And I think that's a translation error. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be called the lethal weapon or lethal sword, I think, is what it's supposed to be called.
There are a lot of funky translations, let's call it that. So, for example, an enemy called Golem, well, all the golems, honestly, they're all called Gorem. And Hydra is called the Hidora. You got a couple of these plant enemies with a really weird name that I can't think of right now. There are so many weird names.
Did you talk about capsule monsters?
No, I completely forgot that actually. So capsule monsters are like the little Pokemon that you see there next to us. You can choose your capsule monster out of 8 of them. Is it 8?
It's I think it's 7.
7, and yeah, they get different abilities, different stats, etc. And so I won't go over all of them, but the reason why we choose Sully is because he's really slow, and he likes to just defend a lot. So he doesn't get into in a way really, because we can't input any moves for him. He just does whatever he wants to do, right? Thankfully, Sully is lazy, so he doesn't do too much. So that doesn't cost us a lot of time. For example, if you choose a different capsule monster that's really fast and has really long animations, then every turn you can lose up to like 5 or 10 seconds, right? So Sully is really good if you want to go fast, because he's really slow.
Well, also, all of his attacks don't have any casting animations, and most of the time he defends, which is the quickest action a capsule monster can take.
Yeah.
Just to interject real quick. The reason I was killing that blue crab, if you notice, like, why is he killing it? It's just random. It's because it drops a jewel called the Cancer Rock, which is a pretty decent item that you can use for the jelly. I don't necessarily need it based off of what I already have, but it's definitely a plus.
Yeah.
It's
and
good.
they're really easy to kill anyway. They have a fire weakness, and there are quite a few fire elemental weapons and spells in the game. And they like to defend, and they only attack once, and they're just they're just really easy to kill, honestly. It's a safe option if you need experience, and then they also drop the item that could be really really useful. Yeah, we only run the Asian Cave. That is correct. You can also evolve these capsule monsters, by the way. Basically, any item that you don't want anymore, you can feed it, and then depending on the value of the item, it will grow bigger, and then when the entire bar fills up, it will go to ooh, that's bad. It will go to the next next stage, if you will, to the next form. So it's kind of like evolving a Pokemon. This game also stole from Pokemon. It stole from Final Fantasy VII, and it stole from Pokemon. Incredible. So these assassins, they're quite dangerous. They take 2 steps every 1 step that you take. They will just ball towards you, and then they're really fast. They have an instant death ability that deal a lot of damage. Especially the next form, which we'll find between floor, if I have it right, 44 and 46. They are called ninjas, and that is like the second big run killer. Right, they're not called assassins, they're called assassins. Very, very big difference there.
I actually looked it up. It's a word. I forgot what language it's in, but it's a word.
It's a word?
Yeah.
I thought it was a... Oh, there's another one down there.
I don't know why they did that. They should have just called it assassin, but... It's some kind of translation thing. I'm not really sure. But
oh, dude, you ran into the right room. That was lucky. Nice.
Oh my god. I kind of wanted to backtrack a little bit. When I picked up those deadlies, I get this question a lot when I stream. I'll pick up the deadlies and go, oh, great, we have a deadly, I needed that. And people will say, well, why aren't you equipping it? Why didn't you equip it? A lot of times with the Ancient Cave runs, especially if you're just starting out, your biggest thing that you want are options. You want to always be able to make as many options as you can. If you don't have a curse lifter, putting a deadly on locks you into that option. But if you don't put the deadly on, you can always trade out for something you might need for like a weakness on another enemy, or when you get to the jelly and you don't have a curse lifter, you can use that weapon instead. It's all about having your options. The way I kind of view deadlies are, you want them so that you can make better choices. Like you can go, oh, I have a deadly, so I don't have to do this, or I don't have to do that. And you just want to keep those options open so that you can always make different decisions. Because the big question is, and it's kind of crazy in the Ancient Cave, but what if you never needed your deadlies? If you equip it, if you never needed it, it's a waste of a equipment slot.
Yeah, or even worse, like if you don't get any curse lifters and you equip both the deadly sword and the deadly rod, and you get to the jelly and you don't deal enough damage because you don't have a good offensive spell or a good rock jewel or whatever, then you can't kill the jelly. So, you know, getting to the jelly is a thing that you need to do, but you also need to kill it to get an actual personal best. So, yeah, you can equip your deadlies and it might make your entire run quick, because you can kill a lot of enemies and kill them quickly. But if you can't kill the jelly, then, you know, yeah, you're screwed anyway. So I haven't talked too much about the enemies individually, except for the course, really. That's because these enemies, like they're all unique, right? With their own health stats and their own abilities, etc., etc. But most of them aren't really important. Like either they don't give you a lot of experience, or they don't give you the items that you need, or you know, you name it. So in a normal run, you also avoid most of them anyway, because you don't need to kill them if you don't have to. Because it's just a time thing, really. So why are you going after these Hidoras? Are these the ones that already give you the Hidora Rook? They aren't, right?
I forget. I think so. I couldn't
I think
remember.
it's the next
I was just
one.
attacking it just to be sure. I never go for Hydora Rock, so I was just like,
Okay, yeah, I believe those drop the X potions.
yeah, I think it's the next step. The next
Yeah.
ones that drop it. Oh, wait, here we go.
Yeah, I'm Mitchy. Yeah, I don't know if my name is on the stream, but somebody type my name out in chat, so that works. I'm watching Zack stream because then I have less delay.
Alright, we are coming very close to the next wall, as Michi said earlier, the ninjas. They're going to start appearing at 44. And even though I have a lot of stuff, I have decent levels, I have really good everything, honestly, I can still die to those ninjas if they just decide to kill me. They have a move called Knife Thrower, and it is very strong. It's like getting hit by the Mimic's Frenzy, but we'll see what happens. Here we go. I actually need to pick up the pace a little bit. I'm going kind of slow.
Yeah, I think there are multiple Hidoras. If you don't count the Orki, there are 3 different ones. You have these Hidoras that are just called Hidora. Then you have the Sea Hidora, which basically look the same, but a slight color change. And then you have the High Hidora, which have a unique sprite. They look like flying or something, or standing up or whatever. I know that the Sea Hidora and High Hidora give them. And then the first Hidora, they only give a potion. So you really don't want to go for them.
It would have been a lot easier with Deadlies, but, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't equip them. When it comes to the Deadlies, by the way, the Deadly Sword is not as valuable as the Deadly Rod. Because Maxim is infinitely slower than Artie, and he'll probably die before he even gets a chance to use it. And the Deadly Sword's IP attack is not that great. And Maxim's intellect stat's not that great either, so even if you can get it off, even if you can use it as an IP attack on the Jelly, which is an option, it definitely works, the rest of his damage is really pitiful, especially if you don't have a 3rd tier spell to use on the Jelly afterwards. The Deadly Rod has infinitely more use. By the way, you can use the Deadly Rod has a 1/8 HP modifier. Oh, modifier. 1/8 HP damage dealer if you can uncurse it, but you can also use it 3 times. The Deadly Sword you can only use once, so it's got some not as good qualities to it. It still does the 80% instant death, but it's not something you want to always have. You want to equip. I try and avoid equipping the Deadly Sword as much as possible. The only time I ever equip it is in a 100% run. Other than that, I do not try and equip it at all. I have it right now, and if I need it, I'll use it, but until then, it's staying in my inventory. Okay, we're in a big room, and there's ninjas, maybe. They can spawn right now.
Oh yeah, this is scary, yeah.
So being in a big room, one of the first things you want to do, I see one, is find an obstacle to block it with. If you can do that, there's ways that you can, I'm not gonna be able to.
You can force the 50% on the
yeah,
ninja.
I'm not gonna be able to though. But I have decent levels, so I should be okay. I'm gonna go ahead and equip the Deadly Rod just to be safe.
Yeah, I think you went into the wrong corner there, but it's all right. Like it doesn't matter.
No, it's
too
fine.
much,
I should be okay. I'm actually gonna heal rather than attack with Artie just to be extra safe here. They're gonna be faster than him, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna attack. All right, well, I attacked.
Yeah, I think it's about a speed tie because you have a black eye.
Yeah, I just thought about that.
Yeah.
Alright, so not only do they have Knife Thrower, these things also have the ability to instantly kill, too. It's not as common, but they can use it.
Yeah, the Knife Thrower, I think it... No, it doesn't ignore defense, but it has like a higher damage than his basic attack. He attacks twice, by the way, just to make it worse. But it focuses the entire team. So if you're like Zack is really high level right now because it's a marathon run. But usually in a normal run, if they use like 2 knife throwers, the only person living usually is Decker. If he's healed up and has an armor, and like usually you still have to fight the third ninja, or because Decker is so slow, he can't run away from the. Well, he can run away, but not before they all get another attack in. So usually, if they start off with 2 knife throwers, then your run is just done. There's too much you can do about it. So this is a really good movement. Just pulling the ninja back into the door, and then walking out the door, turning him around, and then going for the 50%. This is a really solid movement. And on the left in the vertical hallway there, blocking the ninja behind the bush.
Finally, I got a decent high spell.
Nice. Nice.
Actually, I have all the lightning spells now.
Yeah, that was really the last thing you needed. Like, needed. You can still use an curse lifter or 2.
If I get one, I haven't gotten a curse lifter yet. So I'm hoping.
Yeah, this red plant, you really don't want to fight those either. I'm gonna say that with most enemies at this point. But the reason why you don't want to fight those red plants is because they attack 3 times. Oh, interesting. I thought that would be the same room. Yeah, they're really... they attack 3 times, and they attack the same person until they have had their 3 attacks or that person is dead. So yeah, if you want to kill somebody, it's a really good idea to actually fight those red plants.
Oh my
Dude,
goodness!
nice.
What is happening?
Yeah, you got the dream.
Oh my god!
Oh. Ooh.
If I have to go in
Let's
there.
not go into that room.
If I have to go in there.
Gold Eye is also really good. It's a really strong IP attack, which is really good for clearing scary monsters fast. Maybe not so good for the jelly, even though it does give you attack power just from equipping it. But if you need to kill something quickly, it is one of the best options that you have. Yeah, if you have to choose between fighting those gargoyles or going to the ninja room, I think the...
Oh yeah, I'm picking gargoyles, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Artie's missed 2 80% chances
decision,
twice.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Whoa!
You can spawn a dog? I've never seen that.
Oh yeah.
That's funny. I've never seen that. In all these years that I've been running this game, I've never seen them spawn a dog.
Oh, thank God. Oh. Alright. We are 1 floor, I think, from being safe. I have the stairs. We don't have to worry about ninjas. There's going to be kind of a dry area here. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot that can actually kill me. So I did skip a lot there. Oh my god, another party room. I'm going to get out of here, too. Not a whole lot's going to be that dangerous for a little while, but we'll let you know when stuff picks back up. I'm actually kind of far behind. I need to pick up the pace a little bit, so that's okay. I don't know if I want to go there yet. Buster Sword! Okay, let's see. I'm gonna grab this.
Yeah, personally, I don't like floor like around the 50s, especially if you get a treasure room there, because around the 50s there are a lot of undead enemies. Undead enemies you can't kill with your deadly weapons. So you need to use Zap if you have Zap, or Valor, or Champion, or whatever spell you do have at that point. They're quite tanky. They attack twice. They teleport around. They're just really annoying altogether. So, for example, this blue hooded guy. That's what are they called? I don't know what they're called. They're in that enemy. They teleport around. Then you have other two more teleporting movement patterns that are slightly different. So these teleport towards you and then walk around when you're close. You have others that will always just teleport every third or fourth step that you take. And you have enemies that teleport away from you. And just keeping track of all these different teleport patterns is really difficult. You have the chariot there. That likes to walk horizontally and block your way. The samurai chasing you. I just really dislike those 49, 50, 51 floors. And I always seem to get really bad ones around there as well for no particular reason. These sprites, they are now fiends. When we reach floor 72 until floor 87, they are called Archfiends, and Archfiends are bad because they are
very
like
bad.
The third really big run killer in the run, and that's on like the last quarter of the run. So it's brutal just having to face those. So you know when we see them now, it's like oh man, I hope I don't see them later, which we will absolutely. We absolutely will see them, but let's hope we don't have to fight them. These mermaid enemies they're called sirens, and sirens like to sing you to death, literally, but not before wasting 8 or 9 minutes of your time. There are a couple of really fun highlights and clips about that, because they will do an area of effect attack, which puts you to sleep, paralyzes you, drains your magic, etc., etc., and they would just completely just leave you there. And yeah, if nobody wakes up, or if they wake up and they put them to sleep again, then it's a really bad time.
I kind of wanted to add on to something you had mentioned earlier about like the way the enemies move and whatnot. If you want to start speedrunning this game, for one, we have a really excellent guide written by Kriegspire that it's infinitely useful to anyone that wants to know anything about the cave. Also, we also have a very active Discord. We're very active, like it's not dead or anything. Like people talk. If you ask a question, it'll be answered pretty quickly. So you can also join that as well. 3 Penley rods. You could join and learn whatever you want to learn. You can watch runners. We'll always tell you like all the best things that you can do. One of the things I wanted to say about monster movements though was if you start running this, don't be discouraged if you die really early, like in the 20s. The 20s, when you get to 21 plus, it's a huge jump in difficulty. It's really bad. They just the first like 19 floors are pretty innocent. They don't really throw a whole lot of bad stuff at you, but the 20s get really bad really fast. They throw really nasty enemies and a whole bunch of different movements at you. Don't feel discouraged if you die in the 20s. We all did. So it should be just like take your time, learn the enemy movements, and learn how to dodge. It looks like, you know, I just kind of casually breeze through it, but I've been playing for a very long time, and I'm not like trying to gloat or anything when I say this, but I'm making it look kind of easy. It's very difficult to learn everything.
Speedrun.com is down, or at least it's not loading for me, so I can't. Oh, there it is. For some reason, I don't have the guide bookmarked anymore. So I'm looking for the guide right now. I should just check Discord because it's infinitely better to find stuff.
Oh yeah. We all scream for Ice Stream.
Yeah. There should also be a shareable link.
Oh. No! 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 Why?
I totally missed what happened. What happened?
I got a Hydora Rock and I was like, yay! And then I got an Iris Armor.
Oh no. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. And then this marathon run, we're not gonna talk about it.
No,
I'm
please
not gonna
don't.
talk about it. I'm salty still. Where? I thought there was a shareable link, but I don't think there is.
Alright, I'm actually really behind by a few minutes. I mean, there's a lot I can do near the end, but I kind of want to pick up the pace just a little bit.
Just to interject, there's the Ancient Cave guide.
Yep.
If you click on the guide, the last tab in the bottom has links in it, and that has basically all the links that you need. There's the link to the Ancient Cave Discord. There's links to channels that you like, just people that you can PM for about questions, myself included. So if you have any questions about this run or you want to start learning the run, feel free to just hit me up. Just send me a PM. I'm Mitchy, by the way, if you join in later. This is my name is on stream. Or just join any of our streams, honestly, whenever somebody's playing Ancient Cave. It's a really fun community, honestly. Everybody is really chill. Like Zack said, we like to talk about our runs and make fun of each other, and but it's all in good spirits, right? So wait, what?
It's all in good spirits. It depends. Maybe I'm really trying to be negative.
No, I don't make fun of other people. Only about the runs, not people.
Alright, so no, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to say that I get the worst RNG out of everyone, but everyone says that. But I truly believe I get the worst RNG out of everyone. So, you know, if you want to start running this game, just do it, and that's it. It can never go worse than me. So, you know, but yeah, you can.
So we're at floor 58, which is the last few floors, 58 through 62, is where we're going to be able to get no cores. They're the last set of cores and are also the highest EXP that you can get. By the time if you're doing an any percent run, these are the ones that you really want to get. They kind of push you over the amount that you need to survive some of the higher level enemies, and also to farm IP from Copper Dragons. Kind of how I judge my HP levels, like where I want to be, is if I have to farm IP, I need Artie's and Maxim's HP to be over 215 at least. You can get bad damage rolls, but that's a good HP value to sit on if you want to survive Cinder Blast. Cinder Blast being probably the safest way to farm IP later in the game, because when there's only dragons and Necros, you're not surviving any other dragon, and you're also not surviving Necros to farm IP, so it's really the last resort enemy. You don't have to, because there are, like I said, in certain runs you don't always have to farm IP. If you're lucky, just depends. But that's where I kind of aim for. Around 27, 28's already fine. In fact, I've been at decent levels since about floor 20-something, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely a very brave run to run in a marathon. Also for a marathon to accept it. But you know, the more skilled you get, the safer the run gets. Because we will just use alternate strats. We will use a lot of safe strats. You know, pick up more items, kill more monsters, get more levels, etc. And so a lot of that danger can be sort of negated. But at the same time, you know, if you do get an run killing room, there's nothing you can do about it. You know, you would just die. So, you know, as a community, we've always just said, like, just play it safe. Go for the 2 hours instead of the sub 1, you know, and just play it safe and go finish the run.
Yeah, what you're seeing now is a marathon run. If you want to see something crazy, go watch regular any percent runs. They're 10 times scarier.
if you were here from the start, like what we said, that we got everything we needed at 4:15. You know, if this was an any percent run, Zack would have been at the jelly now or died somewhere around. Just to give you an idea. If Zack, well, Zack is really good, so Zack would have tried to go even faster than 1 hour. He would have tried to hit like the 50-minute mark, basically, or the 40-minute mark, really. With a start as we've had this run, that could have definitely been possible. And up to now, we haven't had too much trouble yet. We had that one room with the octos and the lions that was kind of sketchy. We've had to fight a couple of ninjas, and that was about it, really.
Yeah, right now, I mean, honestly, this is what I would say is probably the easier point in the cave. It gets a little worrisome when the gold gorums start popping up. And then the warm eyes can jump at you from out of nowhere, but the only thing I'm really worried about out of any of those is gold gorums. So we're not probably going to have another dangerous enemy until around 72, which is when the big boys show up. we don't want to fight those. Oh, those winged devils.
I love seeing all these Asia Cave memes in the chat.
Oh yeah.
I can only imagine if you're not familiar with this run and you see the chat right now, and it's like, what is going on? It's amazing.
I wish I had more elements. God.
Sorry, what was that?
I said I wish I had more elements. I don't have like any decent. I have thunder, which I wish I had fire or ice right now.
Yeah. So yeah, these guys are called the magma gorums, I believe.
Magma gorums, yeah.
Yeah. They basically have the same sprite as a gold gorum, except that they are red instead of yellow. These red flying imps there over at the left, these lizards, they're called the salamanders, and they're probably my least favorite enemy in the game. They have killed many tournament runs for me and PB pace runs, and, because they have a couple of strong fire spells, and they always move towards you. They're too wide, so when they're in front of a door, there isn't too much you can do about it. Nice ice spell. Yeah. There's your ice spell that you wanted.
Yeah, I know. The salamanders are pretty fast, which makes them very dangerous. Yeah. They also have a very high chance to hit you with Firebird, which it won't kill your party, but two of them, if you're low enough level, it might kill Maxim and Artie. If you're especially low, it'll kill everybody. But they also have another move. I think it's called Pyroblast, right? What's that called? What's the other one?
Sizzle Breath?
Sizzle Breath. And that hits almost twice as hard as Firebird. So, like, they can already kill you with their weakest spell. They can also kill you with their highest spell. And one of the things that makes enemies like salamanders very dangerous, it's also the same reason why archfiends are dangerous, is that they have no back attack. They have no side or back. So you can't surprise them. You can't get into any kind of surprise attack with them. Which is why, arguably, dragons and necromancers near the end aren't as dangerous as people make them out to be. They're just dangerous in hallways and stuff where you can't guarantee a back attack. But archfiends are dangerous no matter how you look at them.
Yeah. Yeah, archfiends come towards you. They also come towards you when you're not in the room. So even if you're in a different room, they will still move towards you. So, for example, if you have a room and in the top left corner you have a door, and in the top right corner you have a door, and you enter through the top left door, you see an archfiend there, and you get close enough, and you're like, yeah, nope, I'm gonna take the other door towards this room. He will also be there because he will just chase you through the room. They are very, very unfriendly.
That enemy that I was moving, by the way, the reason why I was being very specific with the movement is that's the Gold Gorum, the enemy that I was just talking about. They are very, very dangerous. They only do circles. They'll just spin around in circles, but then they will come at you if you get too close within their range. I'm not gonna go down that way. They will come at you. The dangerous part about them is they're pretty fast. They attack you twice, but they also have, yet again, an AoE move that'll hit everybody in the party. One is enough to basically kill you, and they can do it 3 times if there's 3 of them. So that's why I was being very cautious with that particular enemy.
Nice Firebird.
Oh yeah. I love how I'm getting all my elements later when I could have used them already.
Yeah, like at this point, you don't really need Ice Valk anymore because you're past Hedoras. And you don't...
Like
Firebird.
For instance, I just got Firebird. It's actually stronger than Fry, but it's the only strong fire elemental that you have. So any enemies that are weak to fire, which most of them are early in the cave, if you get Firebird early, it's a great element to have. Such as when I was trying to get through a hallway earlier, there was an Ammonite in the way, the big tentacle shell monster. Those things can kill you. They have a move called Tentacle. It hits everybody and it can kill you. But they're weak to fire. So if I would have had Firebird, instead of trying to get around them, I would have tried to 50% engage them, and I could have cast Firebird and killed them. Options like that exist, you just gotta have the options. But those are things that you have to be thinking about when you're running this cave, especially if you're trying to run it and hit like much lower times. You gotta learn how to bypass certain enemies and the best way to get through them. Just to kind of give an idea of like how options work. I have to feed Sully, by the way. I don't know if you want to explain that one.
Sorry, feeding Sully?
Yes. I know it's a big one. I really can't explain it. I have a method to the madness, but I can't.
Yeah. Okay, so there are a couple of things on the screen now. You have the bar that's called Grow. You have the item Long Knife that he's asking for now, and you have your entire inventory. So depending on the value of the item that you feed him, he will either like it, not like it, or like it a lot, or like it incredibly a lot. That's basically it. So if you feed him something of high value, then he doesn't want anything of lower value anymore. So value is basically like in a main story, if you would buy it in a store or sell it to a store, that's the value. So here in the cave, we don't really have a way of seeing or telling what the value of the item is. It's just by like either knowledge or feeling, if you will. Like if you've done this a couple of times, you kind of know what he wants. It's also bugged, because what isn't bugged in this game, he can ask for something, for example the silver rod, and you can feed him the silver rod, and he didn't get oh thank you from it, and only a normal growth gain. He can ask for that S-stock, for example. If you would give him that S-stock, he would just say, I don't like it, it's bleh. You know, so it's really important that you start out with the cheaper items and then gradually build it up, and only giving him stuff that and giving him stuff that he asks for if it is actually the correct item he asks for. So the stronger he grows, he doesn't want any of that weak stuff anymore. He will just keep ramping up the items that he asks for. So for example, at the start you could give him an X potion, and he would grow from that. Well, not anymore. Now he needs the late game weapons at this point. We're trying to get him to the 4th form. Excuse me, you can also get him to the M form, which is the 5th form, really. The 5th form can only be gotten when you've fed him all the way to the 4th form, and then use a fruit on him. And the fruit depends on which capsule monster you have, since there are 7 of them, and every one of them wants a different fruit. So for example, this guy, he's the earth elemental, so he wants the wind elemental fruit. You might almost get it, honestly, depending on how much you're gonna throw at him from the good stuff. Would Fury Ribbon do it? So he needs 2 more bars, and then it's done. Ah, there was 1 bar.
Is anybody in here big fans of SpongeBob SquarePants? You might recognize this character. I'm sorry.
Sadly, I'm not sub to you, so I can't use the emote. Feels Batman. Yeah, this is Sully, the Easter Island head, whatever it's called. Squidward's home. And he can either deal a lot of damage, or he doesn't deal a lot of damage, and he doesn't deal, or he does deal no damage at all, because he likes to defend. And that's the, where the meme Sully Defends America comes from.
He takes a lot of hits, though. He's pretty strong.
He is pretty tanky, and he's slow, which is good for us. So if the enemy does attack him, he is a nice body. And by the way, if he dies in a battle, the next battle he will just be back. You can't really heal him either, so he will just be back. Look at all those subs.
I know.
Nice.
It brings a tear to my eye.
Moai statue. Okay, thank you. Yeah, this is a dragon hallway. It's a hallway with a dragon, and the dragon will take a step every 3rd step that you take, and he likes to just dwell on the middle of the hallway or stand in front of the door where you want to go. He really never likes to actually go where you want him to go. Thankfully, these dragons aren't too terrible. They have 1 strong ability. That's about it. They're like medium speed, so that basically means that Artie is faster, but Maxim isn't.
Alright, this enemy right here is called a leech. And,
not a lich, a leech. Very
Leech.
important difference here.
They are
Ooh.
very, very sketchy, very dangerous, and you're about to see them in action. This is why we don't like fighting. And I can actually get back attacked here, so I'm going to heal as soon as I get out of this fight. There is a way that I can avoid it, though. I'm going to do that instead. There we go. Okay.
How many floors is there are 99 floors, 98 with looking like these, and then the 99th floor, that is where the final boss is. And we're what are we at now? Like 60 high?
Yeah, I'm taking it very, very slow. I'm actually kind of behind at the moment. I'm gonna start picking up as soon as I can.
Yeah, whenever I run in a marathon, I usually aim for like 1 minute a floor, and then I've like a bunch of time left. So yeah, I would feel like I'm 5 minutes behind at this point to where I would want to be.
But by the way, they are called leeches. They're not called liches.
It's leech, yeah. Definitely not a mistranslation, don't worry about it.
That was a sketchy hallway. That was a sketchy hallway.
Because those green Hidora monsters there, they are Orkies, and Orkies have 2800 health, I believe. You can back attack them though, and you can kill them with a deadly weapon or a deadly spell. But they attack 8 times. Yeah, if you don't have a deadly and they have 2800 health and they attack 8 times, they are extremely dangerous. But with good movement, they're not scary.
There are certain. I'm sorry, I'm slapping.
Nice.
There are certain enemies that are just. Don't even bother with them. Don't go near them. Don't touch them. Orkies are one of them. They're not worth anything that they give you. I think they drop gold eyes, but don't ever mess with them.
It's funny, there's sprites in the game that they never ended up using of other Orky sprites. I believe they even have HP value and strength value and all that stuff. And they were supposed to be an even stronger version of the Orky. Like, I don't know what the developers were thinking, but I don't need a monster that is even stronger than the Orky. No thanks.
Yeah, that is we don't.
This is the absolute god tier runs of god tier runs. It is insane, this run. I'm so jealous that I'm not playing now. I'm doing a PB attempt, but it's been good fun.
Oh yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. If I'm kind of quiet more than I usually am on stream, it's a couple reasons. One, I'm trying to concentrate, and second of all, I'm trying to behave. Y'all know how I get.
Yeah, me too. I'm Dutch, so it's even worse. we Dutchies love our bad words. Oh well. So the reason why he's fighting these minotaurs, they're called Gorgon. And I'm saying that on purpose, Gorgon, that way. Ooh, Battle Anger. So as you can see, Battle Anger does a lot of damage. So we want that on the jelly, which he's never gonna... Oh, Gorgon Rook. They can drop an item that is called the Gorgon Rock, as we just saw, which is basically a weaker version of... I'm getting buffers. It's a weaker version of the Deadly Rod IP. It will allow you to use an IP attack that deals 1/8 fractional damage. So on the jelly, that is usually around like 1600, 1800 health. So it's a pretty massive big pickup for any normal run. Zack didn't really need it anymore, but at this point he has another option for presumably RT at this point.
Wait, I just saw a question that said, why did I target the front one with the 3 attacks? It's because that enemy was in the front row, so their damage would do more damage. Granted, that already missed his deadly rod. When you kill enemies in the rows, I think it neutralizes their rows, if I'm not mistaken, from what I understand. But in case already missed, they would do maximum damage to the front row enemy that was on screen. That's the only reason, is the positioning.
Yeah. Yeah, so front row, back rows actually matter, unless it spells, then it just deals neutral damage, if you will. So if you want... So especially with Guy and Decker, because they are in the front row, you usually want to kill the front row enemy first, unless the back row enemy is the actual dangerous one. So if you have an enemy that has 2 really strong spells, but he is slower, and you want to kill him first, even if he is in the back row, then that relatively easy guy that might be in the front row, for example. I didn't touch up on that, but for example, most Final Fantasy games have that as well. I know I'm comparing to Final Fantasy a lot, but a lot of people know Final Fantasy, so it's always an easy comparison. These blue turning Cyclops things, they are called genies, and genies don't do a lot. They like to do fend or just steal your magic a lot. The problem is they also have a really strong attack, and when you don't want them to use a strong attack, they will, and they can easily end your run. So
Yeah,
we really don't want to fight them.
Genies are... I have a really like love-hate relationship with them. And the thing is like genies won't do anything. Like you're gonna have so many runs where you're not worried about genies, but the second you're not worried about them is the moment you die. They will decimate your party when you don't want it to. And honestly, out of all the deaths that you can, happen in the cave, that is one of the most frustrating ones. Because sometimes you just get RNG'd, and there's not a whole lot you can do.
Yeah, on the jelly, I forgot to mention that on the jelly fight you have 3 turns, and the jelly doesn't fight back. He even heals you and gives you magic. But you only have 3 turns to deal 9,980 damage or 10,000 damage, just to have make it easier. If you fail to deal the 10k damage, he will teleport away, and you can try again, and it's basically end speedrun. This is a bad hallway.
Yeah, it
is bad. You're pretty high level, so provided. Yeah, you can't use Valor, and you don't have Zap, so you need to rely on the Deadly.
We're good. We're good.
Oh, okay. Just ice rogues. So there's an seemingly I don't know the actual percentage, but seemingly small chance that they aren't actually archfiends, but they're ice rogues. And ice rogues are a lot more chill than the archfiends, because archfiends have they have some of the strongest spells in the game, and they can use the spell twice, and they have an instant death spell, and they can paralyze you with a basic attack, and they're just off.
Well, ice rogues, they definitely have a lot less HP. They definitely have they're definitely a lot easier to kill. I think you can one-shot them with Zap, if I'm not mistaken. The problem with them is, like you said, they're pretty chill. Sometimes they're too chill. They have a move called Cruel Storm, and it is worse than Thunder. It's worse than a single cast of Thunder. But they're much slower than Archfiends, and you can get away from them. You just got to be very cautious when you fight the Ice Rogue, but they're a lot easier to kill.
Did I make a pun? Oh, sorry. That was not intended. Believe me. I don't master the English language well enough to make puns at will, if you will. God. But yeah, I'm glad we didn't see an Archfiend there. I'm really glad.
If we're not out of the woods yet, Archfiends don't disappear until you're done with floor 87. We still have a few more floors for them to go. And then after that, floor 88 adds in gold dragons. They are the most dangerous enemy in the game depending on how you engage them. But they can be back attack. They can be side attack, back attack. You can wait them out. And then also another enemy pops up, America's favorite. Well, maybe not America's favorite, but the necromancers, or summoners at that point, start showing up. And those, you can back attack them, you can side attack them, but you don't want to attack them. You don't want to go anywhere near them.
They're super fast. Like, even if you have already completely decked out with all the agility items, they're usually still faster. They're really, really bad to fight. They deal a lot of damage, they have strong spells, so they usually use spells. They can summon more enemies, they attack twice, it's just really bad. They because the defense stat and the magic resist stat don't scale really well, or magic resist especially, even Decker and Guy still die really quickly to spells.
Accidentally pulled that genie. I really didn't want to, but
yeah, you were one close to one step too close, one close to step. So there you go. Yeah, they have more agility than you can get. I don't know the specific number. 300. I believe you.
The summoners also teleport.
It's in the guide.
Okay, this is a tricky room here. The summoners also teleport, which makes it really scary. Alright, hold on, I gotta think here. I don't want to pull that other Archfiend, but I do have to pull this one. I do have a plan here.
Can you pull him around the chest so we're not pulling the other
I am,
Archfiend?
but I'm gonna end up pulling the other Archfiend, but I need the genie to be facing the other way.
Yeah, pulling him around the right side of the chest is kinda annoying.
Ooh. Oh!
Yep, perfect! Looked sketchy, but worked really well.
Oh man, that was scary. That was scary.
Yeah, looked sketchy, but went really well. Like, I can't say anything else. That was about as good as you can get it. Oh, nice healing tile there that you really don't need anymore.
Oh yeah, I'm not going anywhere near that. Don't worry. Oh man. Alright, no, I'm not going that way either. Okay, I thought I was behind. Alright, we're out of Archfiend territory, Genie territory, we're out of it. Now it's nothing but dragons and those little green teleporters. I didn't realize I had picked up the pace a little too much. I'm way ahead. Oh my goodness. This run, dude. This run. I can't. I can't do
Well,
it.
if you didn't secure the kill, yeah, now you definitely did. This game is stupid. When is the cave gonna punish you? I mean,
don't even, because the cave can hear us. I don't like that.
Yeah. When is it gonna happen?
Honestly, the only thing I'm missing is, again, Zap. I've been missing Zap from my runs for a while, and a Curse Lifter. I don't have a Curse Lifter.
A trick, I guess.
No Trick either, yeah. Trick is very good.
Trick is a spell that boosts your attack power, so that's really good for the jelly. Not essential, but good. Unlike Shield, which is garbage. Like, what does it even do? Does it increase your magic resist by a little bit?
What does?
I don't remember whether it's magic resist or defense. No, courage is defense. Yeah, we still don't have 2 curse lifters. Aren't you bad? What a bad run. Look at these stairs, dude. Like,
you know,
the stairs are good.
I know I'm doing a marathon run, but I've been paying attention to my layouts and where stairs have been and all that. This could have been the run, man. This could have been the run.
Oh yeah, this is an easy sub one.
Oh yeah.
Easy. Like even when you look at it from another angle, right? Like how many battles were forced on you? Like 2 ninja battles.
Yeah, and they weren't that bad.
And 2 lion battles, and maybe a samurai here or there. That's it. Like you only lost like a minute and a half to fight.
Hey, look, it's everybody's favorite Dragon Con.
Hey.
Luckily, we have easy stairs. Luckily.
Yeah, the run is so easy, you can't even fill out the 2 hours. Like, even if you went slow now, you couldn't even make it anymore at 2 hours anymore.
Whoa! Wait, Guy doesn't have max IP? I gotta fix that.
Ooh, that's bad.
He's only slightly off. I think he'll be okay, but I want max IP.
Hey, we found a way to spend more time.
Yeah, we'll do
farming,
it.
copper dragons.
Not gonna do it on that one, though. We'll find a dragon. We'll get one.
No, because these gold dragons, they attack 3 times. They have the strongest attack in the game, which they can use 3 times. And basically, 2 of them is enough to kill Decker, and they can use 3 of them. So you really don't want them. The coppers can only attack once. You can also not put the silver and the gold dragons to sleep. So there's another massive problem.
Oh, Sully.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you need to change up Sully if you want to farm this.
I just need a little bit. I don't think there's anything I need, but I'm just doing it just why not.
Yeah, there's also a Necro there, so you gotta look out, especially with these bushes and
yeah, I think I'll be okay. I'm gonna move him over to the right.
Chest around. Yeah.
So we're in this. So this is how you usually farm IP in a regular run, if you have to. The dragon doesn't usually behave, though.
No, this is really frustrating. Like, they love to look in the mirror and basic attack the wrong person. It's really frustrating. Yeah, that Necro is scary.
Yeah, he's alright. He's attacked everyone but Guy so far.
Yeah, now you need to heal again. Another menu, more inputs, feels bad.
Yeah, I gotta keep healing though, because that Cinder Blast will kill Maxim if he casts it, so I just gotta be a little careful.
Is Deck making fun of my accent? I don't appreciate that.
At least we found good use for the other 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not in the clear, by the way. There's a whole bunch of things that can still go wrong. It can spawn me right next to a dragon, gold dragons. Even if I don't get back attack, it can still do that. There we go. It can also just end the run with the stair glitch, which would actually be funny. It would be funny at this point. It would be completely predictable, and I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense, but...
Yeah, so the stair glitch is a glitch. If you die on the stairs, then or if you die, normally the game would kick you out back to the entrance of the cave. But if you die on the stairs, the game doesn't know what to do, and it will think you finish the floor and go on to the next floor. However, you will still lose everything that you got. Like you will go back to level 1, start with 10 potions, no weapons, etc, etc, etc. It's really bad when it happens.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow. Wow. What does the radish do? The radish doesn't do anything. That's why we like the radish. When the radish is evolved, however, he can do some really strong attacks. He is evolved, but Zack needs to select him again, which he will do when he.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, no problem.
I don't know why.
But yeah, the Squidward's home likes to defend a lot and totally not attack. But if he does attack, then he deals a lot of damage. But usually when you actually need him, you know, to get a PB, because you don't have enough items to actually kill the jelly on your own, then the capsule monsters like to not do anything. So that's yeah, that's kind of a given. There are a couple of other capsule monsters, for example, Darby. He is more reliable, like he has more. He uses his spells more often, and at level 3, form 3, he gets an instant death ability that can be useful. So he's a bit safer. He doesn't deal quite as much damage, but he is a more reliable option. But nowadays we have gone to what's his name, Zeppy. We use Zeppy nowadays because Zeppy we only need to evolve him to his 3rd form, and he has an ability that increases our attack damage if he uses it, which he increases it by 40%, especially if you have a Gades blade like Zack does right now. Then it's a really, really huge damage upgrade. So imagine that guy. Well, he gets 2 basic attacks and then 1 the IP attack, which allows him to attack 8 times. So say if Zeppy uses it in the 1st turn, Zack would get 9 boosted attacks off, and that's just massive. That is like a 1500 damage increase usually. And yeah, 1500 damage on 10,000 is a huge part, of course. And this is the best music in the game. So he's gonna do his setup now. He's gonna equip the Decker Blade. He's gonna equip the Gades Blade. He's gonna probably equip the Silver Sword.
I might go with Sky Sword and do Hydora Rock.
Sky Sword, Hydora Rock. That's also that's. I forgot you had a Hydora Rock.
I might do it. I think it'd be really good.
And
I don't need any other fractional weapons, I don't think.
Nah, this is fine. And the Gorgon Rock for Artie then.
Well, I'm gonna put a 3x thing on Artie.
Oh yeah, you have the Curse Lifter. See, you have so many options.
Yeah,
I forgot half of the stuff that you got there.
Oh man.
Yeah, this is the easiest kill ever. Literally, this is. I don't know, Denk. I also really like this one. Like, ask me tomorrow and I would say For the Savior. Ask me today and it's this one. Yeah, I will post the link to the Asia Cave guide again. I got it in here. Yeah. On the last page in the bottom, if you go all the way to the right, there's links, and there's the Asia Cave Discord link. and links to channels with people that are, that you can hit up with a PM and ask them for information about the run or where to start.
Hey, I'm really not feeling the jelly kill, so I'm not gonna fight it.
Yeah, well, let's prove this out. As you wish. Oh no, he's gone. We can't finish the run now. Oh wait, there he is.
Dude, when I did that sometimes on my stream, people are like, what? No, no! Like, freaking
out. You can and can't run away from the jelly. I have attempted to run away from the jelly and horribly messed up my run that way. Because when you run, it says can run from a boss fight or whatever, can run from this battle. You do lose your entire turn, so you really don't want to run away from the boss.
I wish I had Trick, man. God.
Yeah.
I could power gourd guy, but I don't think it's worth it. Maybe.
Yeah, probably is with RD turn 1. I would say it is.
Do I even have? I don't know if I have a power gourd. I just thought about that. I don't think I do.
I would think.
Nope, I don't. I don't. All right, well, I'm just gonna cast Thunder then. Whatever.
Yeah, this is the best sprite in the game. It's literally just a massively zoomed in red jelly, which is the first enemy in the main game that you encounter. They were really original with that one. What should we do for the final boss? Let's just take the red jelly and amplify it. Yeah, great idea. That's still a decent fatal blow, I think. It's not great, definitely not. But
we'll see. We'll see.
Still 5k. No, you don't have to die on this one. You can actually kill it. You definitely don't have to die. You can die, but it's considered a glitch. Like you can kill your own party and then finish the cave. We don't allow that in a speedrun though. We are purists and we like to actually kill the jelly properly. Yeah, basically the Decker Blade IP can do anywhere between 50% and nice crit. Anywhere between 50% and 62.5%, if I'm not mistaken. This was somewhat on the lower end of the 50s, but anything that is higher than 50%, I'm happy with, honestly. But neat.
All right, well, that couldn't have gone any easier.
Yeah, that was the easiest kill I've ever seen, honestly.
There's a few scary moments in that run, but I mean, overall, I mean, we just we got a Sully hit. We got a crit from the back row with the Sky Sword on. Oh man, that was pretty sick.
Yeah, good run, man.
Oh yeah,
like,
it was
amazing.
really good.
I think we've also talked about pretty much everything that is there to talk about.
I would say for me personally, like with marathon runs, I'm still on a really good streak. I think I've killed a jelly in the past like 8 or 9 marathons in a row. You know,
I have had everything. I've had from amazing runs to no deadlies to runs to just get brutally murdered. So I've had everything, man. Like, but this is good. This is amazing.
I completed it 20 minutes faster. Honestly, to be completely honest, I probably could have ran through and beat it in about 40 minutes faster if I wanted to, but...
Yeah, easily. This was the perfect setup for sub 1.
We just wanted to be safe. We needed to be safe for the marathon. But we are 20 minutes ahead. I don't know if the next person's ready or not, if there's anything going on.
Do criticals from the back row do equal damage to those in the front row? I think it's 25% less because of the back row. Do you know that, Zach?
Oh, I'm laughing because I'm going through the thing so I can do the jelly part, and then I get Stone Crush. What is that?
Oh wow, Stone Crush! So there's a chance after each battle that your capture monster learns an ability. Sometimes he gets it on the first battle, sometimes he doesn't get it at all if you need it. I've never had one at the jelly fight, so that is kind of funny.
I guess if the next guy is ready, I guess that's it. There's only one last thing that we must do.
Oh yeah, very important.
Very important.
Yes.
Whenever we kill the jelly in my stream, it is tradition that after we kill him, we all say goodbye to him. We all have to say bye-bye. If you are a sub...
I was thinking about something else.
No, if you are a sub, you gotta TFZ hey, or you just gotta wave bye-bye to the jelly. That is a tradition. What were you talking about?
Like going to the museum and playing with the box along the way.
Oh yeah, we do have to do that as well.
Yeah, we gotta play with the box, dude. You deserve it. Grab your treasures, deliver the Irish treasure. Yeah, this level is totally not glitched, by the way. Don't worry about it. In the main game, there are also a couple of rooms that are totally not glitched. There's an entire kingdom that is called Y3 apostrophe kingdom, I believe. This game has a lot of... I wouldn't even call them problems, because it's kind of funny, honestly. But it has some glitches in it for sure.
So when
Nothing
you kill
massively game breaking though, if you know what you're doing.
There's the Deos Shrine's kind of crazy in the main game.
Yeah.
Because you can't see anything. You can't even see the cutscene.
Yeah.
So when you beat the ancient cave, you get the key, and the key allows you to open up that locked door, and it gives you the 3 treasures, which are pretty good. They're okay. Another thing is we did find 1 iris armor, and we also killed the jelly, which is also another display near the iris treasures.
Yeah. Don't ever try to collect all of them. It's a waste of time and energy. Only crazy people do that, right, Zach?
Right. Exactly.
Right, bitch.
All right. Is the next person ready to go, or is there anything y'all want me to do for like 20 minutes? Because I could show y'all some glitches for 20 minutes, but it might be kind of crazy.
Do the glitches, and otherwise the any percent glitch, like the 1 minute credit.
I have the notes somewhere on how to do it, but I don't know where they are.
Yeah, if you don't know it, I would. It's more fun to show off the glitches, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, if we're behind, just let me know. But if y'all want me to do anything for like a few minutes, I have things that I can show off if y'all want. I just need some permission first before I do that. I'd also have to load up a different emulation.
Let's see.
And Mega Man X is ready to go. Okay, they're ready. Okay. Alright, everybody. I appreciate y'all coming in, watching Lufia 2 Ancient Cave. Don't forget to follow my commentator, Mitchie. Really good guy.
Yes.
He took time out of his day to do it.
Just follow Zach.
Alright, it's been fun. Alright, y'all have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of the marathon.
Have a good one, all.